Welcome to this episode of ACG's Growth TV. I'm Carolyn Vallejo, and I'm here today with Jon Repka, who is VP of Growth at Paro. He's here today to talk about digital transformation, which, of course, is a really big buzzword that we've been hearing for a couple years now. What are you seeing in terms of the evolution of how companies are actually implementing digital transformation?
I'm glad you just ripped the Band-Aid off with the buzzword concept. It's been buzzy for decades. It's almost superfluous today to talk about transformation and have to tack on digital. It's 2022. Everything we do is grounded in digital foundation, but that doesn't mean that we don't see firms every day leave value on the table because they go about it willy-nilly without the right framework. It's a little bit hokey, but we adhere to a framework called the 3 Ps, and we see that it leads to consistent results in this buzzy world of digital transformation.
So what are those 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps: people, process, and platform.
Got it. Let's start with people. How does talent fit into actually implementing a digital transformation strategy?
I'm glad we're starting with people because it is without question the most important. And I think people commonly misconstrue digital transformation. It's about automation. It's about technology. It is driven by people. And when you think about people, you have to look at it holistically, and that means internal and external. Everyone always thinks about their team. Who do they have in what role? And sure, that's important. But if you don't look at your external network of advisors and consultants and vendors, you're missing half of the battle. And it, again, summer of 2022, the Great Resignation, top of mind for everyone, and it's made that people function harder across the board. We see turnover. We see firms being understaffed. But if you flip it on its head, there are opportunities for progressive firms to embrace that Great Resignation and make an advantage. Think cloud-based teams. Think remote work. Think meeting the talent where it is today, which is not in your local office. It's not at that big four firm. It's in the cloud. And that can really be the underpinnings of a successful digital transformation.
Absolutely. And next on the list, of course, is platform. What are some of the first steps that organizations should take when they want to evaluate their current tech stack?
Well, let me tell you what we usually see, and that is shiny toy.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
Yeah.
And then we daisy chain that into the next one, to the next one, and you end up with a more unruly tech stack than you started with. And so when it comes to platform, please just start with the discipline to do a current state assessment. And then pay particular attention to what that dream future state is. And if you do your homework, you put in the effort up front, now you understand where am I going to, and you can work backwards to the capabilities, run a proper RFP, so you get the tech stack that you actually need. Really common misstep in the middle market is people think, I've made a transaction, I need an ERP system. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But by actually evaluating where you want to go and breaking it down, you can get to a much more confident transformation.
And that leads us to process, and I'd love to hear about kind of connecting the dots there, how businesses can create those workflows that connect the people, that can connect the platform, and bring it all home.
I love how you laid that out, because actually the analogy I usually think of is process is the oil between the gears of people and platform. And when you run out of that oil, the whole machine grinds to a halt. And so how do you install and design and implement the processes that, first and foremost, you have controls. Automation is applied to keep things efficient. And it's not as sexy as the financial model that's going to show the ROI of the transaction, but documenting your processes, standard operating procedures, the good old SOPs, that is one of the biggest insulations or insurances you can have to that Great Resignation we were talking about in the people section. That when you actually have the proper processes that are documented, when you do lose that key stakeholder, the wheels don't fall off the truck. You can continue to operate, you can continue to run those processes as designed. So again, really just bring it all together. People, process, platform. Now you've got the framework for success.
Awesome. Jon, thank you so much for coming on board, showing us that it's not just a buzzword, you can actually digitally transform.
Thanks so much for having me.
My name is Carolyn Vallejo, and thank you so much for watching Growth TV.